You can see so much in me, that's true. I never felt till I look at you.
And
For
I'm afraid that's a no.
eyes only.
And I'm afraid that's a no.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to this audio fan commentary on For Your Eyes Only.
Not that one.
Yeah, the fifth Roger Moore James Bond adventure and the 12th James Bond movie in the official series. So this is the halfway point in the series, currently speaking, because there are 24 movies. So yeah, we recently did a commentary on Moonraker. So For Your Eyes Only was requested for us, and it's the next one of the series. So we thought, why not? As usual, this is a non-profit commentary. We're just fans commenting on this. If you want to join us, that's fine. Put your timestamps to 0 in your DVD and Blu-rays and follow along. We can't show the we can't show the actual film, the visuals on here for legal reasons. So sorry about that, but I hope you enjoy nonetheless. So Jack, want to say anything before we start?
Well, this movie is for our eyes only and for your eyes only, Ollie. And also, we are making money off this. We're making fun to the fucking dosh. No, only joking.
Yeah. In the words of Daniel Craig from Skyfall, get this analysed for her eyes only.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you want to do the countdown, Jack?
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Doo-doo-doo. Leo the Lion is the only other character that appears in every Bond movie.
Yeah. I don't know if he counts.
Yeah, I count him. I don't normally go back to this film, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, same. It's my least. Oh!
This
Gun
film
barrel.
is awesome. Da-da.
Yeah. I love the 70s, like, funk gun barrel, like.
Yeah, like the 80s kind of, like, groovy remix.
Yeah.
That transition doesn't work, though. The kind of the cut. They should have just moved the circle out instead of doing that, but no well.
This is a nice reference to Bond's wife, and this definitely shows that James Bond isn't a code name.
Yeah, fuck that stupid theory. I don't like that at all. Yeah, this is the start of what would have been a very good opening scene, and it's a very touching scene as well. In this film, and establishing some sense of continuity, even though there's a different guy playing Bond this time. But unfortunately, the scene that follows this is kind of basically, for me, ruins it.
Yeah. I do like Bond's line. It's an emergency. Yes, it usually is.
Yeah. I've never normally really been a fan of this opening scene. I mean, it's certainly impressive in terms of the stunts. I mean, the Roger Moore stunt double, obviously, throwing himself on the side of the helicopter, that's quite cool. But
yeah.
The whole idea of this opening is just, to me, just fucking silly and stupid. I mean, they talk about James Bond coming back to Earth for this movie, but really, it kind of got sillier. I mean, the whole idea of, I know we can't really say his name legally in here, but Blofeld in the opening sequence.
Oh no, we can now because the rights have gone back to back to ABM.
I don't like this opening. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to the story. It has nothing to do with the main plot. It's just I don't get why it's even in the film. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice to have Blofeld back, but he's just a cameo and he does nothing. He's in a wheelchair. I mean, actually, John Glen made a mistake with this movie because I don't think he saw Diamonds Are Forever, because at the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Blofeld, his head gets stuck in that branch, and that's the reason why he's got the cast on his neck. So obviously John Glen didn't see Diamonds Are Forever, so I guess you could say it's a continuity error on his part, or this is a sequel, I guess you could say, to On Her Majesty's Secret Service with, the grave of Tracy and Blofeld. I don't really understand it, to be honest. I mean, you there?
Yeah, no, yeah, I am. I was just letting you speak.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, this intro, I think the aerial work and the stunt guy does an impressive job, but it's just a stupid way to open the movie. Like, we don't even, the character isn't even called Blofeld. We don't get to see his face. And it's just a pointless scene. Like you said, it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie, and it's just, it's silly. It's a silly arse, opening to what is, it's a silly arse opening to what is quite a serious film.
What tries to be a serious film.
Yeah, I think John Glen, to be honest, is not the best Bond director, in my opinion. I mean, he's not a terrible Bond director. He did do 2 really good films, A View to a Kill and Living Daylights, but I think his other 3 films, for me anyway, are kind of mixed bags. Like, For Your Eyes Only is definitely a mixed bag. Octopussy is better, and License to Kill is another mixed bag. I think John Glen is better as a director than he is an editor rather than he is a director. Although even then, his editing is a bit crap, like the double take pigeon.
That was a that was a bad decision. I mean, it was also kind of a dull opening sequence. Like, it's not exciting, it's not dramatic. I mean, and then it's stupid. It's silly. I mean, it's probably one of the weakest opening scenes in all of the series, to be perfectly honest.
I probably agree with you.
I mean, I'm bored of this scene already. I mean, at least with Moonraker, it was impressive, the scope of that sequence, but also the actual scene itself had some tension, it had some excitement. This has nothing. Like, again, and the whole, and as you said, the whole point of it is stupid. Like, I mean, why do you want to tie up this On Her Majesty's Secret Service plotline in this film? Like, if you want to establish continuity, look at Diamonds Are Forever, as you said, but yeah, maybe John Glen didn't see that. It just feels unnecessary. They should have, the opening of the film, the pre-title scene should have been the death of Melina's parents. It should have been a big action sequence. That should have been the end of the opening scene, then go into the titles. But no.
No, this scene is just so bad. Oh, God.
Why is Blofeld in a wheelchair?
I'll buy you a delicatessen in stainless steel. What?
What? What the fuck?
A delicatessen is somewhere where you buy food. How could you have a delicatessen in stainless steel?
Yeah.
What?
It's the most random line ever. It makes no sense. I'm starting to think that was improvised. Like,
and that is just a shitty way to end Blofeld, a shitty death for him. The next time we'll see him as Inspector, we're just like, oh, Mr. Bond!
That whole opening, I think, was just basically a fuck you, a middle finger to Kevin McClory.
Yeah.
What it feels like.
I think they said that they didn't need Blofeld. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, this title sequence, Roger Moore kind of looks like he looks a lot older the way they zoom onto his face there. But
yeah,
I mean, Sheena Easton, I really don't get why her face is in the title sequence. I mean, apparently Maurice Binder fell in love with her face, and I guess out of all the Bond singers, she is probably one of the most attractive. But I don't know why her face is in the title sequence. It makes no sense.
I mean, I think the song is okay. I quite like the tune of it. It's not a Bond song, but it's a cute little ballad. But it's basically meh. It's just another run-of-the-mill ballad. After Nobody Does It Better, they just kept doing all these ballads until A View to a Kill. This was where it really started to tire. I mean, Moonraker wasn't great, but it was better because it had Shirley Bassey. And also the title sequence doesn't make sense either. It's just women in water, doesn't relate to the film again.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to For Your Eyes Only or Moonraker, I'd have to take Moonraker over this song because For Your Eyes Only, I mean, I think Shirley Bassey is a much better singer in my opinion, and For Your Eyes Only, it's just another ballad. I mean, I can understand with Moonraker because Spy Love Me was such a success, but this kept the Bond songs as ballads right up until Octopussy. You know,
Yeah,
um,
right there, they copied the Spy Who Loved Me title sequence with
yeah.
one turning around with the gun and the girl running into his arms.
Yeah, I mean it's Bill Conti who actually does the music. But I mean, yeah, I don't care for the. I mean, I think the title sequence isn't bad, but I think it's good. But I just think, why is her face in it? I just find that weird. Like, I mean, I think the underwater titles are kind of cool, but
Yeah,
it's just why is her face in the title sequence?
yeah. I mean, the song is okay. It's not the worst Bond song. It's not terrible. Like, I think it's a nice tune. It's catchy, but it's a bit sappy. It's a bit cheesy, and
Yeah,
it's just
it's a bit generic. Would you say generic Bond love song?
yeah. But it doesn't really feel like a James Bond song. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, now we're into the film, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
not a great start, John. Not a great start.
mean, I'm talking about For Your Eyes Only. I know this is Sam Harrison's favorite Bond film, and surprisingly, some people say it is the best Roger Moore Bond film because it is the most, I guess you could say, down to earth, serious of his Bond films. But For
Yeah,
Your Eyes Only, for me, the reason why it's my least favorite is because it feels like a Connery Bond film. It doesn't feel like a Roger Moore Bond film. A lot of the Roger Moore Bond humor is stripped away in this Bond film. It's a much more down to earth, serious
yeah.
Bond film, and
Although you say that, they do actually. There is a lot of silliness with this film, despite the fact that it is trying to be more serious. The stupid opening with Blofeld doesn't help, and also the character of BB. Just fucking BB. Need we say more about her? But I mean, we'll get to her later. But yeah, other than that, it is mostly serious. And actually, the ending of the film is stupid with Margaret Thatcher and the parrot. Ugh, God, I can't stand that ending. No offense to Sam Harrison whatsoever, but I have to disagree with his opinion on this one.
I mean, it's my least favorite Bond film out of the Roger Moore Bond films because I just think the villains are very forgettable and bland. I mean, Julian Glover is a great actor. I mean, he's been in Doctor Who, he's in The Crusade, City of Death, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Star Wars. He's been in a lot of things and he's a good actor, but Chris Statos is just a nothing villain. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good guy for most of the film, and then shock twist, he's the bad guy, and he's just so forgettable. Like,
we
there's
don't see
nothing.
him till like halfway into the film anyway.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's like I think the henchmen are really like bland and forgettable as well. Like Locke, I mean, he's another nothing villain. He's a nothing
Yeah.
like
Also, something to note about this film: this is the one and only Bond film where we have no M. This is sadly due to Bernard Lee's passing. So they say that M is on leave in this film, which I think was very nice. It was a very respectful way to honor Bernard Lee's legacy as the character. So basically, in his place, we have the minister essentially taking over his role, taking over M's role just temporarily. And I think we agree that's a nice thing to do.
yeah. I mean, this intro to me, it just doesn't have. It is trying to copy the beginning of The Spy Love Me in the submarine. It just doesn't have the same stakes. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, they accidentally find a mine that sinks the ship. Oh, how convenient! And it's got the
yeah.
new
Like how Anakin Skywalker accidentally blew up the Trade Federation ship in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has no stakes. I mean, if it was a submarine, if it was an enemy submarine that shot like a underwater missile at them, then maybe it would be more stakes. But it's just the fact they found this old World War II mine and they accidentally blew up the ship with the new ATAC on it, and the whole plot of For Your Eyes Only just rips off the plot of For Much of Love. And For Much of Love, they were after the Lecter device, which was a device that went after nuclear submarines. They do. It's the same thing here with the ATAC tracking system. It's just copying the plot of From Russia with Love, and it just doesn't work in my opinion. I mean, for me, it's the weakest Bond film because it's just so forgettable. I mean, like I said, the villains are forgettable. Carol Bouquet, I mean, even though she's really good to look at, she's stunning. She just has no chemistry with Roger Moore. There's no chemistry whatsoever. It's just, and to me, it's it's stripped of all the Roger Moore Bond humor. He hardly has any quips in the film. And it's a very. I mean, I understand why they did this. They wanted a more down to earth Bond film after Moonraker, which a lot of people thought was too silly. But for me, Bond, it should just like with Roger Moore, like it's okay to be silly. And I understand why they did this though, because they wanted to make it more serious because people thought Moonraker was too silly. But For Your Eyes Only, to me, it's just way too serious. I mean, but like you said, it has stupid moments as well, kind of like License to Kill. It doesn't have as many stupid moments as License to Kill does, but it's just I mean, it has none of the charm of the other Roger Moore Bond films. It has none of the humor.
Very dull movie. It's also kind of slow in the first half as well. There's not much that happens, and it's just not very interesting for me anyway. But I mean, there are worse Bond movies. Oh yeah, there are there are worse ones. But this one ain't no spring chicken.
Yeah, I mean, even the plot of Moonraker, even though it was a rip-off of The Spy Loved Me, at least the plot was a lot more engaging. This, they're just after an ATAC device. That's it. It's like, who cares? Like,
yeah. And the fact that you also have a young girl like BB trying to hit on a 54-year-old man. Ugh.
Oh, fuck.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, thank fuck they don't go to bed, though. Thank God for that.
Yeah. Thank God. It was only suggested, but even so. Oh, God. I like the character of Melina. I mean, she's not one of the best Bond girls, but I like her. I think she's attractive. She's got very long hair, and I think she's a quite pretty girl. And it's quite tragic, obviously, what happened to her parents. But
I think her her parents' death is done very well, and Carol Bouquet is attractive. I will admit that, but I just think Melina is a character. Like, I mean, there's no chemistry between her and Roger Moore. I mean, I don't think her character is a bad character. I think her motivation is good. Her parents have been killed, and that's why she wants revenge. She's become an assassin, but there's just no chemistry between her and Roger Moore. Like, Roger Moore, and when they're both in scenes together, they just look bored, together. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this scene is good though. Like her parents' death, it's quite well done and quite dark as well, but in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, since this film, they've tried to redo this plot with Camille in Quantum of Solace. In a different way, but the same sort of revenge quest.
Yeah.
I love her reaction shot.
I've seen clips of her in other things, and she is a good actress from the clips I've seen her in other things on YouTube, but I think she works better. Like, it would have been better if she just worked on her own without Bond, because just her and Roger Moore just aren't great together. But, yeah. Ooh, my pie.
Yeah, Lois Maxwell is sort of has aged quite a bit by this point. I mean, she's only got 2 more appearances left, and then that's it for her.
Well, they were both the same age, and funnily enough, she did go to RADA with Roger Moore, so they knew each other. I think she's about a year older than Roger Moore, so she would have been about 55 or 54 as well.
Yeah. Did she choose to leave the series, or did they just basically let her go because they were casting a new Bond?
I think they had to let her go. I mean, she was 57 when she did A View to a Kill, and if they have had her flirting with Timothy Dalton, they've just been creepy. Like, ugh.
I mean, I can't see Lois Maxwell and Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, she'd be a cougar, like a MILF. Oh, God.
I like the suit Roger Moore's wearing. You don't see him wear the sort of the pinstripe suit very much.
Yeah. I like the fact, like you said, Bernard Lee died, so they just said that M's on leave. I think that's more respectful than to just recast a new M as soon as he died. Like, that would have been wrong. I'm glad they just say he's on leave. Like, you know, and Bernard Lee, in my opinion, he's my favorite M. I mean, he was the longest M. He was there from Doctor No till Moonraker. So, I mean, for me, he is a definitive M, and you know, I love his. I mean, he works well with all the Bonds that he's been on screen with, including Lazenby, because he's so sarcastic and stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting that the document says "For Your Eyes Only" there, and we got the return of the Lotus. Lotus is back. Yeah.
Sadly, it doesn't really get used much though in this film, though, does it?
No.
It's nice that the film kind of does try and throw you straight into it.
I actually got a picture of a Lotus Esprit last year at a car show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cool car.
Oh, it's interesting, like by Bill Conti. It's a different. You can tell it's not John Barry. There's just a very different feel with this one.
I'm not a huge fan of the soundtrack, but I do like the Bond theme. You know, I mean, I think the gun barrel is probably my favorite gun barrel just because of the funky 70s groove to it.
Yeah. There's some nice. The music is nice when Bond and Molina are on screen, but yeah, it's not the best Bond score ever. But it's a nice departure from John Barry. I mean, he wanted to have a break, so yeah. I mean, you know, it will do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I think they've referenced Bond's aging in this film, like the start. I forgot to mention, like with the priest when he's doing the sign of the cross to him, and Bond looks at him, like, you know, the look in Bond's face is like he's older.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting there is the girl you see with the silver bikini on the left. Calvin Dyson pointed out it's right. That was a man who had a sex change operation. They didn't know about it when they were making the film.
Oh, right.
Thank God she wasn't the main Bond girl, because that'd have been awkward.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
I mean, Gonzalez, he's okay. I mean, that's the thing. I don't really think any of the henchmen they're just okay. Like, I know they're trying to go for more realistic henchmen, like more down-to-earth assassins, unlike Jaws, but I'd rather have Jaws in this than Locke, because Jaws was originally supposed to be in this, but they decided at the last minute not to have him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned Gonzalez, I've completely forgotten his name. You know, the villains are so forgettable in this film.
Yeah, and I think that kind of damages the movie more than it helps it. I mean, Cristato, I mean, all I'll say is Locke he looks kind of sinister with, like, you know, the look on his face, but he's a nothing henchman.
Oh, that's quite tense.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Roger Moore's outfit here. It just looks a bit too 80s. The soundtrack is a little bit dated, I'll say. Like,
I think they tried to be a bit more like funky with the music this time round.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that tense of an action scene so far.
I also think it goes on a little bit too long with the car chase and everything.
I like the car chase, but it's not the best in the series.
Whoa!
Ooh.
What a beauty.
I mean, it's interesting how he used that, like, it. It's interesting how Roger Moore uses that brolly as like a parachute when he jumps earlier. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that would work in real life, but yeah. Oh, that guy trying to break into the car there is Bob Simmons, Connery's stunt double.
Yeah, car always gets destroyed.
Burglar protected.
Huh.
I mean, it's kind of annoying that the Lotus gets blown up so early in the film.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're trying to make it more realistic, but I'd rather have a car chase with the Lotus than the Citroen.
Yeah. At least have the Lotus in a chase before blowing it up.
Yeah. I still think it's a good car chase, so it is kind of funny Bond has to use a more realistic car, like a shitty car. I mean, Carol Bouquet is good, but I just there's no chemistry between her and Roger, which is kind of a shame.
Maybe she was a little bit too young for him as well.
Yeah. Also, she was French. She didn't speak English. She's dubbed over in this film.
Excuse me.
It's not a bad car chase.
Yeah. I mean, it's in comparison to the windsurfing scene in Die Another Day. I mean, fucking better than that.
It doesn't have that many one-liners in this film, Roger Moore, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, again, like you said, because of Moonraker, they wanted to cut down the humour. Then at the same time, weirdly, they throw more in. I think John Glenn's direction is a bit confusing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just tonally, like, because he has all that humour stuff with the Blofeld opening, which is stupid. And then the ending with Margaret Thatcher and the parrot. For God's sake.
I kind of think it's stupid how the car gets knocked over and then they have to stop the chase. Like, what I don't get is why don't those guys in the cars get out of the car like when Bond's car gets knocked over and just kill him there, shoot him there? Doesn't really make any sense.
There's some good camera work. There's some good shots.
Yeah.
It's quite cute seeing Bond drive a little tiny car against those other cars.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. I like the nod he gives him. That's kind of fun. He's like, after you.
Whoa.
That's one thing I will say. Even though Roger Moore doesn't get that many one-liners in this film, his performance is always consistent, even in this.
Dangerous. Yeah, the music, it is very different. That's all I'll say.
I think it's a bit dated, to be honest. It kind of dates the movie.
I mean, they're trying to add the Bond theme in now, which is kind of cool, but it's very techno funky.
I like the Bond theme, like the dun, 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 dun. That's not bad. It's just the rest of the soundtrack that's a bit iffy.
It is very 80s.
No.
Yeah, Roger Moore definitely still had his way with the ladies. 5 movies in.
That's pretty cool when he goes over the car.
I think originally this was intended to be his last film, but because of the Never Say Never Again palaver, they wanted to keep him on because of they wanted their rival film to be better than Never Say Never Again, and then I guess they extended his contract for 2 more films.
Not only that, but Roger Moore was Bond for well, I like his delivery of the line there. Like, my name is Bond, James Bond. They use that in the Blu-ray menu.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reason why they wanted to keep him on for Never Say Never Again was because he'd been in the role 7 years, and his Bond films made a lot at the box office. So if they got a new guy, an unknown guy, against Connery, the new guy would have obviously made less than if they had kept on Roger Moore.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad though it's not his last Bond film, because we wouldn't get A View to a Kill. I mean, for me, this film and Octopussy are kind of the low point of his Bond tenure, but
I mean, they're certainly not terrible, you know.
Yeah, they're not awful films. I mean, I'd say both of them are average. I'd probably give this a 5 out of 10 and Octopussy a 6, but
Oh really? No, I quite like Octopussy. Just think it's a bit too long.
I'll probably give it a 7, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, Roger. I would also say I think this is probably Roger Moore's weakest performance. He's still really good, but he doesn't get that much humor. He doesn't get to, be his kind of natural, witty, sort of charming self as much.
I guess they were trying to go in a new direction, and I think it didn't. They realised probably that it didn't quite work. So in Octopussy, he sort of goes back to his quippy self.
This guy kind of annoys me. The one in the black cardigan. He's a bit annoying.
He's like he must be like the chief of staff or something to the minister.
Oh, you see that guy with the cast?
Yeah.
He was actually the guy who wore the suit for Boba Fett in episode 5 and 6.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah.
Singing in the rain. I like Singing in the Rain is a good musical.
And it's interesting he has 2 Lotuses. He has the white one and the red one. I'm surprised he doesn't get a car chase on the red one later, but oh well.
That's what we need. We need to see. They've brought the DB5 back so many times in the Craig movies. I think for Bond 25, it would be great to see a new Lotus make a return, but probably won't do it.
I think Aston Martin are now under. I think Aston Martin and James Bond are now in a contract together. That's why they made.
Eon have, I think, partnered with them, or they have a contract. Yeah, where they get to manufacture like so many of them just for the film, and then they whichever ones they don't destroy, they auction off for charity. I mean, they did that with the DB10 in Spectre. Daniel Craig, he breaked about 3 or 4 of them, but the rest they sold off for like, I think one of them went for like 10 million or something. Yeah. Insane.
The identigraph here, like the computer graphics and the technology, are kind of dated now. It kind of dates the movie, to be honest.
Yeah. It's one of those things, though. That's sort of a natural wear and tear thing, but it is very much the technology of the time. So that's an interesting thing with the Bond series. You see, like the evolution of technology within them, like since the Connery films all the way to the Daniel Craig films. You see how much more technology we have at our disposal, and as we go through each film, it's almost quite like that. It's like every few years there's something new, technologically advanced. There's a new technical marvel that's coming, which I think is interesting. It's just one of those little observational things that you see in the Bond movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think they airbrushed Roger Moore's hair here a bit because he was getting older.
Mm.
I mean, his hair is really airbrushed in Octopus, probably to cover up the fact that he was losing hair because he was getting older.
Yeah. 54 though. There are, could look worse.
No, I mean he aged really well. I mean, I'd say next to Daniel Craig, he aged the best out of the Bonds. I mean,
Yeah.
even A View to a Kill in '57, he's still got all his hair. He's still in good shape. So yeah.
I mean, and it was George Lazenby who was considered to be the model, but look at him now. These scenes are quite nice. It's 34 minutes in.
I like the fact that he's got a new Lotus. He just doesn't get to use it in the film at all. It just annoys me. It's like the last time we saw the Lotus was in The Spy Love Me. Why can't we have a car chase with it?
Yeah. It's a waste of a perfectly good car to me.
It's the last time we see the Lotus.
Yeah, I think they got to bring it back. It would do the series some good credit to have. I'm not necessarily saying it needs to go underwater again, but even just to have it briefly in one of the new films. If it's not with Daniel Craig, then the next guy. If I were directing Bond 25, I would market that. I would say let's get a Lotus.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Because we've always had the DB5. We've seen it enough times now. So, aside from DB5, the Lotus I think is the nearest sort of to most iconic car of the Bond series.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, here we go, Luigi.
Woo! I mean, that shot, that view is amazing.
Yeah.
I'd say, Luigi Ferrara, not particularly a memorable character for me. This is where John Glen starts to do his trend of killing the allies. The next 5 Bond movies, expect to see each of the supporting allies killed.
Yeah. I don't know how he didn't see that. With every Bond film he made, I'm surprised he didn't notice that. But I'm surprised.
Oh, no, I think it was intentional. I think he intentionally, just did it as a pattern.
I know, but didn't he think it would be a bit cliche though to kill every ally in every movie? Because you got Luigi Ferrara who dies in this movie, you've got VJ who dies in the next one, you've got Tibbet who dies in A View to a Kill, you've got Saunders who dies in Living Daylights, and you've got Sharkey in License to Kill. It just gets so predictable and like stupid after a while. Like Luigi,
by the time we get to Sharkey, even when you first see him, you're like, well, yeah, he's going to die. Because that character comes out of nowhere. We never see him before with Felix or Bond, and yeah.
There's Julian Glover. I mean, he's a good actor, but he's just wasted. He's absolutely wasted as a villain.
Yeah. I mean, the performance is certainly good. I'll give him credit for trying, but ultimately, Christatos is one of the weakest Bond villains of the entire series. Not because of Guivar's performance, because of the writing. He's a nothing character. Like, he's bland, he's boring. There's just nothing interesting about him.
I mean, Julian Glover can be a very good villain if he wants to be. I mean, my favorite role that I've seen him in is probably in Doctor Who as Scarroff. He's excellent as the villain in that. He plays an alien and a human. He plays an alien in a human's body. And he's great in City of Death, and he's also very good in Last Crusade and Star Wars and everything else I've seen him in. It's just he could have been a great Bond villain. He could have been one of the best, but they just they introduce him as an ally, and then halfway through the movie, we find out he's the bad guy, and his villain just has no personality. He has no personality traits like Goldfinger. He has no golden gun. He has no scar. He has nothing that stands out about him physically or in his personality. There's just nothing. Like,
yeah, I think the script needed a rewrite, really. Especially as we get to fucking BB.
well, we're on that scene right now. There she is.
Sake. BB's one of the worst Bond girls ever. Why the hell is she in this film? What the hell does her ice skating have anything to do with the main story? Nothing, you know. Just cut that character out and be done with it.
And literally, she is just a Bond girl. She's a girl. She's not a woman. God.
Call her Bond baby.
Yeah. I mean, Bond baby. Bond toddler. Gee. Yeah.
She's probably the youngest Bond girl to ever come into the series.
Yeah, she's a Bond embryo.
Yeah.
I mean,
you thought Lazenby was young when he took on the part of Bond.
I think what makes it worse as well is because Roger Moore's like 54. Like, I would maybe understand it if it was like if Bond was in his like late 20s or early 30s, but he's
if it was Lazenby, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. Or even young Sean Connery, I would understand, but Roger Moore, like in his mid 50s. No. I mean, I just think BB, like, I agree with you. She's just an annoying character. Like, she's just like her voice, everything. She's like, you want to buy me an ice cream? Like, oh Christ, like, and not only that, but it's so stupid later on where she appears in the movie, like she's at the monastery. It's like, what the fuck is she doing there? Like, why you shoehorn this character in? She's just too young for Roger Moore, and she's just so annoying. She's just, it's just cringy to watch her, like, try to seduce Bond, and yeah.
Yeah, when she's waiting in bed for him. For God's sake. They went one. I think John Glen went one step too far there, really.
Well, I mean, at least he didn't have Bond have sex with her. That would just be, ugh, God. I mean, maybe BB just likes older men, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
This action scene's not bad. Actually, those bikes... The bikes that these guys have...
Huh. To the funeral.
I was gonna say, I was what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, what I think they should have done. No, actually, what's interesting about those bikes that those guys were on, which they chased Bond on those bikes later. Actually, my dad had one of those bikes that those guys are driving, the assassins.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't have spikes on the tires.
Oh no, he didn't have spikes on them, but they're called Yamaha XTs. He said they're really good bikes. They're really cool bikes.
I do like the locations of this film. I'll give it this. I mean, nice to sort of see the Alps. I mean, I think this is quite a nice scene. How almost we're starting to see a sort of more paternal side to Roger's Bond in this film because he's getting older. He's trying to protect her. He says, "Oh, you have to go. Let me deal with this. You have to protect yourself and get out of here." But obviously, she's so consumed by revenge that she's not giving up. So, but it's nice that the filmmakers are addressing his age and are addressing the fact that he's going to quit the Secret Service within the next couple of films.
It's interesting because, like he says earlier on, like the Chinese have a saying, if you're ever gonna, or the Greeks have a saying, if you're ever gonna, if you're ever gonna go on revenge, dig 2 graves. He's basically warning her, saying, like, I know your parents are dead, but this isn't the right thing to do. You could kill yourself doing this. It's my job. Yeah.
Yeah, he convinces her to go back. I think actually in this scene the music is quite nice.
This is the one scene I think where Roger Moore and Kyle Bouquet do look like they have a bit of chemistry, like when she smiles at him.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. And this is the one scene that makes me want to throw up.
Oh God, fucking dweeby or BB,
Dweeby.
or should I say Tweety Pie? Oh God,
I thought I taught Putty Tat.
I toy, James Bond.
No Putty Tats in there.
It's so cringe.
Oh,
God.
what
He's
if,
like 54 and you're like in your early 20s. Ugh. I'll do anything for you. Oh, God.
She's so annoying.
I think it's her accent, her American accent. I'll do anything for you. It's so like high pitched and
That's the sort of squeaky, mousy voice.
yeah, that Californian accent. I think your Uncle Aaron would approve.
I think some still a version as well.
I like the look in his face. Like even Bond wouldn't go that far. He's like, yeah, you're too young for me. I don't want to get it on with you.
James Bond has his limits.
And she kisses him. Ooh.
Kissy.
Ooh. It's kind of disgusting. Do you ever come up for air? Breath control. Oh, Jesus. Even Bond finds it awkward as shit.
That was a totally unnecessary scene.
I think they added it in there to show Bond's age. I don't know.
Yeah, and to show that he's, he does actually have some limits, when it comes to women. He doesn't fuck everyone,
Yeah. And he's very agile for his age.
Yeah, he is. Actually, this scene is pretty good. This upcoming ski chase that we get. I think it's probably one of the best action scenes in the film. I mean, the action sequences are mostly very good for this film. I mean, I guess people like this one because it's fun, but as the best Roger Moore Bond movie, I don't know if I could go that far, but
no, I mean, it's nowhere near the best for me. I mean, I think it's okay. It's average, but it's nothing special for me.
Yeah, as Calvin Dyson said in his review, it's just very run of the mill.
Yeah. I mean, there are good things in. There's some good action scenes, and there's some. I do like the locations, and there are some things I like about it. But it's just, I think the villains are just so bland and forgettable. The story, the ATAC device, I couldn't give a fuck about. It's just a rip off from Russia with Love, and it's just it doesn't have the Roger Moore Bond humor that I love about his Bond. That's why he's one of my favorite Bonds. Why he is my favorite Bond, because of his humor, his wit, and he doesn't get to use that as much. And also, just
James, stay with me. No.
Yeah, and also the reason why it's not one of my favorites is because of fucking BB.
Fucking BB. Don't even fuck BB.
Fucking Tweety.
What, Cheryl Tweedy?
Tweety Pie. One thing I don't understand is how does I suppose I don't know how the spikes have not burst their tires.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Because surely you can't put that many holes in the tire and put the spikes over without the air sort of coming through.
No. This guy's like a stereotypical blonde henchman.
Yeah.
Kind of like Stomper. Or
Stamper.
Stamper, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Stamper or Red Glen. He's just kind of a typical blonde henchman. Tough guy kind of thing.
Yeah, like big, just a big guy, you know, really just the muscle, nothing else really.
Find this a bit boring. It's starting to drag a bit.
Yeah, this film doesn't have as much of a momentous pace as the others.
Moonmaker flies by.
Where are you? Why do you hide?
I do like this action scene coming up.
That was cool.
360. He did a 360.
I mean, any skiing action sequence in Bond is going to be pretty good.
My dad saw all the Roger Moore Bond films in the cinema, and I think this is his least favorite one.
Yeah. I think the music in that section there wasn't great. It was a bit random.
I mean, Locke, as a villain, just doesn't really do much. He just follows Bond around, has a drink, looks at him, and that's it. That's all he does. He has no dialogue with Bond. He doesn't have a scene where he beats Bond up. All he does is just stalk Bond and look at him. That's it.
Stalker alert!
I like the music here, the soundtrack bit here.
Yeah, the soundtrack I think is probably a mixed bag. Like, there's some good themes and there's some weird ones as well.
I think that's a young Charles Dance there. It is.
Huh.
Young Charles Dance there he's the one in front of look, there he is, he's the one in front of Locke in the lift. That's a young Charles Dance.
Unexpected cameo.
He's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I gave up watching Game of Thrones.
Too much sex position.
Yeah, that. But also, like, just too much, just boring and too hard to follow. It's not too difficult to follow, too many characters.
And plus they kill loads of them off, don't they?
Yeah. I had no interest in it. And there's too much sex and incest. Ugh. I don't mind the sex scenes, I could deal with that, but it's the incest and the rape. That's I don't agree with. I don't like watching that on screen, so sorry.
This is kind of a tense scene, how he's being followed by the assassins, and you got the guy on the ground with the sniper.
Huh.
Basically, Locke's going to shoot him if he goes back, and your guy's going to shoot him if he goes down the slope.
Take the bloody shot. Whoa!
Yeah. It's interesting. Bond has half a ski pull up. He only has 1.5 ski pulls.
That was a good getaway.
I like the music bit here. It's quite cool.
Funky.
And this is probably my favorite action scene in the film. This is a well done action scene. I'll say John Glen is good at action.
Yeah, he's a good action director. And I think he hit his stride with that in The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton's era.
Yeah, the music's quite funky. Like, dun, 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 dun.
I mean, that was the 80s. The music was moving with the times. Everything was more or less cheese.
There's a guy coming up, like with the guy at the wine bottle that they've used since The Spy Loved Me. Yeah, I think it's the same guy with the wine glass from Moonraker and The Spy Loved Me. It's like a recurring gag during the Roger Moore era. It's like the guy always seems to be in the right place at the right time, like, and he's always got the wine bottle, and he always thinks like he's seeing things because he's drunk. I like this where Bond gets in the bobsleigh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time we saw a bobsleigh since On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah. I think John Glen tried to recreate some of the action scenes from that film.
I think he was inspired by sort of a few of the previous films in the series. Like, as you said, there was a lot of Spy Who Loved Me in the opening, and then just now On Her Majesty's Secret Service. He's clearly playing Guess the Bond movie in his own one.
It's pretty impressive how they got the bikes to go around that slope of ice.
Huh. Ah. Woo!
Oh, woo-hoo! Your gun's fucked. Having a hissy fit.
Yeah, good on salvage that bike.
Good action scene, I'll admit.
Yeah, that was entertaining. I do agree though the film is starting to drag a bit.
Yeah, find it a bit boring. Yeah, and this is where he gets killed. I mean, he's such a pointless character. What does he do?
Yeah, exactly. You read my mind. What does Luigi Ferraro contribute to the story of this film? Nothing. Oh, go away, you multicolored rainbow.
Go get off somewhere else.
Some other 54-year-old lemon.
Why don't you have sex with a guy your age, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, she needs to get out more. Yeah, I guess it sort of makes sense. You know, she's been cooped up all her life, made to train. She's never known a social life. But still, surely she would have... He doesn't look young. I know she doesn't know he's 54, but surely if she looked at him, she could be like, ooh, no. No,
he's middle-aged. Like, oh. Yeah, I just wish Baby would fuck off. Oh, God. This is kind of weird when the hockey players attack Bond. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, what?
Huh. It's a cool action scene, but you know, we've only just had an action scene.
Not only that, but it's like killer hockey players. A bit random.
This must have been dangerous to film.
Obviously, they're like assassins that are dressed up as hockey players. No, I noticed a stunt double there for Bond.
Kick his ass.
You know, Bond was like, "Oh, I seem to have got a home run."
Well, that could have been worse.
It's kind of a pointless action scene.
Yeah, it's just filler.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh, wow. Who cares?
Boring.
Are we supposed to feel bad for Bond? Like Bond should get revenge? Who cares? Ugh. It's definitely be down the lower half of my ranking of the Bond films.
Yeah, same for me. Well, goodbye, Luigi. We'll miss you. Not.
I don't know what's worse, this or GoldenEye. I might have to rewatch GoldenEye again.
For me, actually, I think GoldenEye is slightly better than this. I never like to say that, but it has a more interesting story, slightly better villains. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a bit more fun. I think.
You know what? I think you actually might be right. I need to rewatch GoldenEye again. I think GoldenEye is better than this, to be honest.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the weakest.
I like the Italian locations. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They do use Italy quite a lot.
The locations are good. It's just the story and the villains I just don't give a shit about. Oh, I wish we just hurry up and get to the point, John Glenn.
I am so interested in this film.
My eyes do feel a bit heavy.
To be fair, it is late at night as well.
Yeah. I mean, these scenes with him and I think they're trying to establish some kind of love story or connection. It just doesn't really work. I think it's trying to show like some kind of romance between them blossoming, but it just doesn't really work in my opinion.
No. I mean, obviously, he clearly feels sorry for her because of her parents being killed, but there's no romance there. There's not much chemistry, to be fair.
I mean, nice locations, but what one thing that is cool about For Your Eyes Only is this is the only scene in the Bond film with Roger Moore where he plays at a casino.
Huh.
It's funny, this is the only Bond film with Roger Moore where he plays at a casino.
Well, did I remind you about Octopussy?
Oh yeah, but that's after this film.
True, but he still plays in a casino.
Well, this is the first Bond film that he plays in a casino, I'll say that.
Oh, I'm going to rely on dozing off a bit. I want this film to kind of my interest back.
The woman in the blue dress, it's Brosnan's wife. What was his wife? She died. You there?
Yeah, sorry. So I'm dozing off.
I can understand. I feel bored as well.
Yeah, I'll stay awake.
Are we an hour in? Yeah, we got another hour left, mate.
So, no, I mean, it's not like Thunderball slow, but it is slow. It's starting to slow down now.
Yeah. I mean, Christoph is just... This is where we find out he's the villain halfway into the fucking movie. Ugh. It's just a bit of a filler Bond film.
Also, a bit of a drag as well.
Yeah. I mean, when I first saw this, I watched it with my mum, and I did like it, but just over subsequent viewings, it's just gone down and down, in my opinion.
Yeah, same with me. And I've just every time I've watched it, I know I've never felt really excited to watch it. I've just thought, it's another Bond movie.
Well, I'll say, apart from GoldenEye, it's better than any of the other Brosnan films.
Oh, Julian Glover. Despite his best efforts, he just can't deliver, really.
He's going to take the gloves off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no tension in this scene, like with Bond and Kristatos. I think
my problem with Kristatos is he's just too nice of a villain. He's not really threatening. You never see him get angry or like pissed off at Bond or his henchmen in the film. He's just too nice.
I think Glover tries to go for a sinister, sort of cold, calculated feel, but it's not. I don't know if it's the fact that he's too nice. I think it's probably more the fact that he's too nothing. Like, he's a nothing character. They've written this character and they haven't really given him a personality. And there's no personality, so any tension in the scene is therefore instantly withdrawn because, you know, we know Bond, we know what sort of character he is. Kristatos, he's nothing, you know. So what sort of threat does he pose to Bond? Nothing, you know, at the end of the day.
Oh, God. Hurry the fuck up.
Slow pacing does not a great Bond movie make.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting Brosnan's wife is in this because Brosnan was going to be the next Bond after Moore left, but Dalton took the role instead because Brosnan was committed to Remington Steele. He couldn't get out of the contract.
Yeah. Oh my.
This is a shit one, Roger. It's shit.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh, there he is, Topol. What do you call this guy again? Is it Topol?
Topol. I think. Well, either way. Is that his character's name or is that the actor?
That might be the actor's name, Topol, or the character. I don't know.
If it is, it's a fucking shit name. No offense to the actor, but it's not a very good name.
Oh. And this is, they're trying this double bluff thing where Kristatos tells him that Topol, whatever's the villain, but it turns out he's the villain. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. Not me.
Oh, fuck me.
I don't know about you, but I'm on the edge of my seat.
You're on the edge of your sleep.
I think it's possible to do both.
You're on the edge of your sleep, falling off the edge of your seat.
I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm waiting for this film to move on.
I'm surprised Brosnan married that woman because she looks quite. She looks a lot older. She looks like she's in her 50s, and Brosnan would have been in his 20s.
Oh.
Greek smugglers.
She's a pretty girl.
She's quite old though for Brosnan. I'm surprised.
Well, maybe she's just a bit of a cougar.
She's more age appropriate for Roger Moore.
Ah, well, you're in luck because Roger always wants more.
She's definitely a cougar. Roger always wants a whore.
Roger always wants more.
You get more, much more. Roger Moore.
Roger Moore's the whore who hits the floor.
To be honest, they could have just cut out this romantic scene because it adds nothing to the film. She dies anyway, so what's the point of it?
Yeah, spoilers. What's the point when you got Melina as well?
And BB, don't forget her. I'd have rather just have the Countess and Melina than BB.
True. Yeah, I mean, anybody's better than BB.
I mean, Countess is more the Countess is more age appropriate, but I mean, this scene is pointless because she dies the next day on the beach. Ugh. They got the sexy music going. It's a bit cheesy. You got the sexy music with the fire and the alcohol. It's a bit cliche.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the job, Roger. Thanks for the job.
Well, I'd love to be born with all those women.
So many unnecessary scenes in this film.
It looks like Dennis the Menace with that going.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
Sexy time.
I think he poured the glass of alcohol away because he thought she'd poisoned her or some shit. This is so cliche, the sexy music and then walking down the beach. I'll take your car any day. I'll give you a good driving.
I'll take your cock any day.
Well, you can put it in drive. Play around with my gear stick. My gearbox. This is a good action scene, but I don't know why they want to kill her. Charles, dance again.
Yeah.
Roger Moore on the beach with the gun is actually the front cover of the DVD.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Why did he have to kill her?
Well, that was a waste of a character.
Ugh. It's just another filler action scene.
That character's death had no impact on the story. A lot of things don't really add to the story whatsoever.
It's just a pointless action scene. You got some good shots, but it's just such a generic filler movie.
Wakey, wakey, Rog. Wakey,
Oh, did I have too much to drink last night?
Certainly a bumpy ride in my dreams.
I had a dream I was on a beach and the Countess got hit by a buggy. Oh wait, that was real. That blue outfit looks a bit shit on him. He has some of his outfits in this are kind of bland.
What should I do with him? Arrest him. Must find a different way. May have to. Tell me what. I'm here, Mr. Bond of the.
Oh my god. So I'm running out of things to say.
Yeah, it's very boring.
Can't believe how slow this film is.
He's the one with the powerful connection.
It's slower than I remember.
Look works for him.
Yeah, the second half has proven to be very dull.
Diamonds, cigarettes, pistachio nuts, but no heroin.
I don't mind. I like this character. I think he's quite good. It's kind of funny.
And I leave to him when he is not too busy working for Russia against my country and yours.
So, what about this economy? It's crazy.
Go through the fighting in Crete with a double agent. I would laugh if my heart was not so
This is when we find out Christatos is a villain, an hour and 12 minutes into the movie. That's way too late.
Yep.
Over halfway in, we're over halfway into the movie, and this is when we find out he's a villain. Ugh.
Your government might give him another medal. Why should I believe you? Well, I'll prove it to you tonight. We go together to his warehouse.
We go together like Rama Lama Lama, dingity ding a dong. Remember for never, like shoo bop shoo, wada wada, yippity doo dee doo.
Police beat down on you like a load of bricks. Don't worry. By tomorrow, we'll be good friends.
By tomorrow, this movie will be over.
Let us drink to that.
And you'll have a paycheck, Rog.
Quite literally, by tomorrow, this movie will be over because it'll probably be over after midnight or just at midnight, which will be tomorrow. Well.
You may need this. I'm a good judge of men. Mr. Bond, you have what the Greeks call
Mr. Bond.
Guts.
So you, Mr. Colombo.
Oh, his name's Columbo, yeah. Yeah, the actor's name is Topol. Yeah.
Oh, I see. What does Topol do?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I think he just smuggles drugs or some shit. But he's like a small-time drug dealer. He's telling Bond that Christatos is the main bad guy, though.
Of course.
This action scene coming up is good.
Yeah, I actually forgotten about this one. Takes place in the boat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Look at that.
It's a very humorless Bond film for my liking.
It's just dull, dreary. 1 hour 15 minutes. I'm just.
Yeah. This is a good action scene, though. I don't mind this.
Yeah. The action is fine. There's no issues with that.
I mean, I understand them trying to make a more serious Bond film, but I think it's too serious. It needed to have a bit more humor, a few more one-liners or scenes from Roger Moore's Bond.
Woo!
The only really humorous moments in this film is the beginning and the end with Margaret Thatcher and the beginning with Blofeld.
Yeah, but even then, those moments are stupid and silly.
Yeah. Like I said, how can you have a delicatessen in stainless steel? A delicatessen is a shop where they sell loads of food. It doesn't make any sense. I do like this action scene at the warehouse, so it is a good scene. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought you'd fallen asleep.
No. Oh, the way this film's going, I'm about to.
Opium.
I
I kind of like the fact that Columbo, his main thing is eating pistachio nuts. It's kind of funny.
Pistachio nuts are lovely.
Yeah.
I like them very much.
I like them. It's just a bit of a... It's a bit annoying having to take off all the shells, though.
Yeah, I do wish that when you buy them in the shops that they would have been de-shelled. You know what I mean? I hope with all the shells taken off so you can just eat them now.
I mean, I really struggle to see how this is Sam Harrison's favorite Bond film, and Roger Moore Bond film, because I know it was his first. I know it was the first Bond film that he saw, this in Octopussy, but for me, there are much better films in the Roger Moore era, such as Live and Let Die, Spy Love Me, A View to a Kill, Man with the Golden Gun, Moonraker. Yeah. I mean, people complain about Moonraker being too silly, but at least it was memorable. At least it had fun. It had charm, and it had good villains. I do like this scene coming up where he kicks the car off the cliff. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Don't worry, Jack. I'm here.
You weren't talking. I thought you'd gone.
Stop. Do nothing. Obey my voice. I'm here. Oh yeah, coming up is probably the most serious moment of the film.
It's probably my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah, because nothing else stands out.
I say it's one of the coldest kills in the James Bond film series.
And certainly from Roger Moore.
I can imagine Daniel Craig doing that scene with the car.
Yeah, he'd do it much more aggressively, though. I mean, he did it very quickly. Roger Moore takes his time to make the guy suffer.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it better. I think Roger Moore plays the scene really well, though, when he kicks the car off the cliff. It is one of the darkest ways to kill him. He could just let the car fall off itself, but he just kicks it off.
Kick him! No! You left with Ferraro, I believe.
Well, I'm glad he got killed. He was a piece of shit anyway. Shit villain.
He had a head for heights.
Had no head for heights. Yeah, I'd say that's one of my favorite Bond kills.
Yeah. I mean, these underwater scenes are quite good.
I like the saxophone For Your Eyes Only music here. That's quite good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the underwater sets are quite cool, like the underwater Greek sets. That's really well done.
I swear the last 40 minutes of this film have been nothing but a drag.
Yeah. Oh. Still got another 45 minutes left.
Tune is nice.
Yeah.
And you say the underwater footage is very good too.
The underwater sets that they've made here are fantastic. The way they've managed to make these underwater Greek temples.
Why does she leave her oxygen tank in the water?
Oh, it's very shallow water there. It's very shallow water, and they're off the coast of an island. In Greece, the water is very shallow. It's not that deep.
Yeah. Even so, though, you think that before the creatures destroy it, it'd be worth bringing it back. But oh well, maybe not.
Maybe she was going to come back down there in another 5 minutes. I like Roger Moore's shirt.
Oh, snap. Oh, yeah. Introduced to another character, Max. Max the Parrot.
Pieces of egg, what?
This won't be his only appearance. He'll return in The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton.
What's interesting is, actually it was funny, when I was in Sicily last year, there was this parrot outside the hotel, and it was like saying all these things in English to my brother, And my brother kept pestering it. It's like, and my brother was like, talk some more, and it called him a git. Kind of funny.
I remember the only parrot I've ever seen was it was like that one. It was the blue and yellow one. Years ago, in 2005, I went to Lanzarote. It was this guy that lived next to the villa that we stayed in. He brought the parrot over, and we got to sort of hold it and talk to it. It wasn't very talkative, unfortunately, but it said a few things. But yeah, they're wonderful creatures, rather intelligent, actually.
It made me laugh in The Simpsons. There's this episode where Bart goes to this blind man's house, and he has this parrot in the cage, and he doesn't know the parrot's dead. It's just a skeleton in a cage. Oh, the music here is good. I like the Bond theme here.
Dare I use the words Atari joystick?
Well, this isn't a Star Trek Insurrection. Oh, God.
No, Star Trek interjection.
Star Trek Big Erection.
Yeah. Like that, wouldn't you? Yeah, Picard's big erection.
No, I wouldn't.
I prefer older women.
Oh, God, do you remember the blue screen in Insurrection? They forgot to get rid of the blue screen.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Rufo. No, the villain. Funnily enough, the guy who played Milton Crest from License to Kill was in Star Trek Insurrection, and he dies in a similar way in Insurrection, like he does in License to Kill.
Yeah.
I think that was a homage to that film.
Who does he play in Star Trek?
Oh, in Insurrection, he plays that guy, that captain whose face is stretched off or whatever.
Come on, Rog. Keep it moving.
Oh. I'm trying, but John Glen is a bit shit with the pace, Ollie.
Dear, oh dear. You know what?
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, Barry Chuckle died recently.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's very sad. Those two they were made to be on TV.
They were part of my childhood. I loved Chucklevision when I was younger.
Same here. Oh, the villains who I couldn't give a shit about.
Yeah. Now, could you imagine if Bond and Melina were getting the ATAC? To me, to you, to me, to you.
Melina, Ballerina, Katarina. I spend too long in these underwater scenes.
Oh, the movie's just so slow.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's just slower than I remembered.
The last 26 minutes since the hour mark has been really slow.
I mean, yeah, I thought Thunderball was slow.
Well, that's slower than this.
Yeah, that one's really hard to watch. For me, anyway.
Yeah. I know Alan loves it, but isn't me, but it seems almost every Bond film with underwater scenes are usually quite slow. This and Thunderball, kind of the prime examples. Oh shit, the dead bodies!
Expect to hear Tom Jones singing Thunderball somewhere.
I wonder how they did these guys underwater dead.
Probably mannequins of some kind.
Yeah. No, but the close-up there, I probably just got a guy acting.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Acting that he's dead.
actually, acting dead is very difficult because you have to try and suspend your breathing slightly. You've got to breathe quietly.
Or kind of hold your breath for a few minutes or a few seconds.
Yeah, which isn't as advisable, really, because you can only hold your breath for so long.
Imagine if one of these bodies came back to life, like, I'm still alive, Mr. Bond.
Die again, Sam.
They're zombies.
Oh, God.
James Bond meets Shaun of the Dead.
Well,
How does this equipment still work underwater? I don't understand it.
how does the equipment still work, really, even when it's not in water?
No, but you think like the wires and all would like explode? Electricity and all that?
Yeah, you think so.
Cutters.
I actually think that License to Kill is better than this film.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah, it's purely because there's more that happens in it.
And it's better paced.
Yeah, even though it's longer and quite lengthy, but yeah, the pacing is better.
There's more memorable things in it as well.
Yeah. Plus, it's one of 2 Timothy Dalton films. So.
Yeah, I might have to say this might be John Glenn's weakest Bond film.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
Not the best Bond director, to be honest.
Yeah. He certainly improved, but he's not perfect.
Oh shit! Why is she cowering and like a wimp? No!
How can she?
Kick him in the fucking face.
Yeah. How can she even say that through the oxygen mask anyway?
Why doesn't she just knock his, thing off?
Yeah. Oh. This film now.
Stop fast, I'll stall it.
Why wouldn't he just let the ATAC blow up with the suit?
Oh yay! More underwater fighting.
I think the problem with underwater fights is because when you're underwater, it's much harder to move around. Things are a lot more in slow motion underwater. That's why underwater fight scenes don't really work.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how you edit it as well. And a lot of the times in Thunderball, they didn't really edit it too much. And that underwater battle goes on for too long.
Yeah. He gets blown up.
Boom, boom, boom. Whoa!
Surprised they didn't get blown up.
Yeah, they were close.
I thought they would have. That looked like bad editing there. The blast was right there, when they were at the front of the ship. Oh well. At least the underwater scenes are over.
Eyes only.
Oh my!
Oh, I just want this film to end now.
Yeah, I think if I did a re-ranking, this would be a lot lower than I put it originally. I think I put it at number 15 or 16 originally. I think I put it down.
Yeah, next time I rank the Bond movies, this one's going to have to be a little bit lower.
It's not the worst, but it's not one of the best.
It's so dull. Ugh. That question, the weakest Roger Moore Bond film for me, anyway.
Yeah, I don't see how it's the best Roger Moore Bond film. I'm sorry, Sam Harris. I really don't. And other people, and other people who, Sam Harrison, yeah. I mean, and other people who say it's Roger Moore's best Bond film. I just think to myself, are you on drugs or something? Like, no offense, but I don't see how it's his best film at all. It's so boring. It's so generic.
Yeah.
The villains are shit.
Pacing is piss poor.
There's nothing standout about it. That's the thing. There's nothing that grabs your attention.
Other than the cold kill.
Yeah.
Roger Moore himself.
Ugh. I mean, hurry up. Still got another 40 minutes, I think. 30 minutes.
CO2. Quite close to CO2.
33 minutes left. Enough of the underwater action scenes.
This is too long, this scene.
Yeah. The movie, I think, is a bit too long. 2 hours, 7 minutes. Could have made an hour and 50.
Yeah, you think so?
I think the action just needed to be edited better.
Yeah. I mean, John Glen is an editor, so you think that he would have a sense of taste.
He was the editor on Moonraker, and the way he edited the film in terms of the pace for Moonraker, that was great. But the editing here, he should have edited it himself, and maybe the pacing would have been a lot better. Whoever did the editing on this did a sloppy job.
Sloppy Joe compared to what we're used to.
I don't want to see another underwater fight scene in a Bond film ever again.
Yeah. There's not much you can do. They're just too restrictive. Just wouldn't bother filming underwater. Not for a fight scene.
I mean, the problem with, like I said, filming underwater is that everything is in slow motion because of the weight of the water around you. It's hard to do action underwater because everything is slowed down. That's why astronauts train underwater. Astronauts train underwater because that's what it's like. It's like a simulation of being in space because everything's kind of slow and heavy.
Pretty much. There's no air.
Ugh. On this, who cares? Oh wow! Now this is the first scene where we see Christatos as the bad guy, and this is an hour and 36 minutes in. The first scene where he reveals himself as the bad guy, with half an hour left to go. Who cares? For fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Ugh.
We don't care. We don't care.
I will say the Blu-ray looks great, but apart from that, I don't give a shit. Oh, is he gonna rip off her clothes?
That was a good cut.
The Lecter, the ATAC, I just don't care about. It's just such a nothing plot.
Christatos is down there as one of the worst Bond villains.
Julian Glover, why'd they waste you?
Yeah, they did waste him, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Carl Bouquet's bomb, it looks good. This scene where they tied them to the back of a boat was actually taken from the novel Live and Let Die.
Seems a bit unnecessary to put it in this film.
Yeah, should have put that in Live and Let Die instead of this. I like this scene. This is a good scene, but Kristatos is a nothing villain.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Lena's hot, and the scene has no merit whatsoever.
Kristatos' line is a bit crap. Oh, Mr. Bond, you've shot your last bolt. It's just, I say this is one of the most. I say this is one of the most formulaic Bond films.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Oh.
What? Like, there's no new things that it's brought to the table. Nothing new at all.
I mean, say what you want about Moonraker being silly and all that, but at least the villains were good. It had a sense of humor. It was fun, and it flew by. This is the exact opposite of that. Ugh.
Unfortunately.
I get why they wanted to make it more serious, but it's just not a very good film in general.
I think what you see here is John Glenn's inexperience as a director.
Yeah.
Doesn't translate very well. Well, the inexperience translates well, but the good filmmaking doesn't translate very well.
Oh, there's a shark? I mean, the thing is, as well, Bond doesn't even kill Kristatos. Kristatos just gets killed by Columbo at the end.
Oh, it's swimming costume.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Wow. On the bikini.
No.
Sorry. Oh, I couldn't resist.
Finding Nemo. My name's Sharky. Oh dear. Yeah, License to Kill, even though it isn't a masterpiece, even though it's not great, it had some good scenes in it. It had some, good points to it. This is just kind of. Ugh. Whoa.
Oh, he's dead.
I mean, people who think this is a better Bond film for Roger Moore than Spy Love Me, really? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I'm sorry to disappoint those people, but it's not proving to be a good experience so far.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, Moonraker is better than this because it had good villains, it was paced well, and it had a sense of humor and fun. And View to a Kill is better in my opinion as well because the villains are better, the story's better, like the action scenes are better. It's just more memorable. Same with Live and Let Die, Man with the Golden Gun. Pretty much every other Roger Moore Bond film beats this by a mile.
Oh, come on. End already.
This is so much slower than I remember. That was a drawn out scene.
Yep. But Melina's wearing some very nice clothes.
Oh. They should really have. I think John Glenn probably should have edited it as well, because his editing on Moonraker was great. Like, the pacing was flawless. He should have edited this film as well. I think the editor did a really bad job, really sloppy job.
It's like they had the first cut and they just shoved it out in the cinema.
Yeah. I think the problem with John Glenn as well is that every Bond film he did was always 2 years apart. So a few of his Bond films kind of feel rushed because they all had to come out within 2 years.
What's the point of this scene? What the fuck is the point of it?
Filler scene.
Makes no sense. Wouldn't you fill the screen with actual story and not the filler?
It's Roger Moore. I like the scene of Q where he's like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." That's putting it mildly 007. You there, buddy?
I'm here. Ugh. It's such a struggle to keep my eyes open. Oh. Let it go, let it go. Can't film anymore.
I'm surprised they put Q into the field.
Even if it's all too briefly. The monks. Monks are in town.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Let it be said that that song will always exist. I mean, Thin Lizzy, I don't listen to their music, but that song is one I do. And that is a great song.
The band from Ireland.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like this action scene, the final action scene on the monastery, but even then, I've kind of lost interest by this point.
I'm so done with this film now. I literally.
You imagine it was Colin Baker looking at that rock. Thou craggy knob.
Now, Rocky testicle.
Yeah, Jesus, please save me. I'm looking at this monastery and seeing that picture of Jesus and wanting to end my suffering right now.
Oh, the suffering continues. We still haven't seen the last of BB.
Oh God, why is she in the monastery, for fuck's sake?
Why is she in the film? First,
but it makes no sense. She's a skier. What's she doing up in this monastery in the middle of nowhere? I mean, I know he's her promoter, but still, I don't get why she's there. Ugh. There she is. Oh God.
Hey, no. It just makes me laugh because this is just totally ridiculous.
She's got a nice body, I'll say that, but
yeah, she's so young. You know, that's the thing.
I'd say she's about our age, but she's too young for Roger Moore. And win the gold medal. Shut up.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
You were poisoned her against me. Who cares, for fuck's sake? Who cares about BB?
Yeah.
Dweeby, Tweety, BB. Need we talk about BB? BB, or should we say Bimbo? God.
Yeah. Very well bimbo. Oh, this film sucks. Well, it's not awful, but it's just.
It's not great either.
No.
You know, I might give it a 5 or a 4. I don't know.
I can't remember. I think in my review I gave it a 6 or a 5. One of those.
I think it was 5.
It's certainly going to be going down a bit.
That's what's interesting about the Bond series. Your opinions change after a while.
Yeah.
Multiple viewings, your opinion can either go up or down on a film.
One of those guys look like Will Ferrell.
This is a good action scene. It's quite tense though when he's climbing up the mountain.
Oh, I mean, the stunt work is impressive in this scene, but that's really it.
Kind of always that sort of image of the white dove, which I think it's death.
Something like that. He was just putting his hand up there to climb up, and the dove just flew away.
You know, there was the white dove earlier, like with the white dove on their jackets and the white dove coin that he throws into the car before he kicks it off. He's still eating pistachios when he's going on a mission like that.
Pistachios. Huh. Snickers, get some nuts.
And Mr. T arrives.
Mr. T. He was saved today.
Mr. T's craziest fools. My brother actually does climbing. I mean, I don't think he's climbed a mountain, but he's quite a good climber.
Does he like doing rock climbing and all of that stuff?
Oh, he doesn't do rock climbing. He does indoor climbing.
Ah, right.
He's quite good at it. I mean, I'm kind of afraid of heights, so I'm kind of shit at it.
Here he is.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. No.
Oh, shit. That is a good stunt. That is a really good stunt.
Very impressive.
That must have hurt, though, for that guy.
I applaud the stunt double who did that. Amazing work.
Yeah. Great work. It must have really hurt as well, doing that.
Oh, slowly, surely we'll get to the end.
Yeah. That's the interesting... It's kind of interesting he uses his shoelaces to climb up. It's kind of... It's quite ingenious in some ways. It's quite tense as well.
It's gonna fall.
Uh-oh.
Secure. Better be careful.
Oh, this guy's gonna knock out the... Uh-oh. I wish I was Bond and just had a gun and...
Maybe one day they'll cast you as James Bond.
It'd be cool, but I doubt that'll happen.
Well, you never know. Anything can happen if you let it.
Anything goes.
Anything.
It'd be cool if I was Bond and you were the director. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I made 2 Bond films. Sure, you can make some Bond films.
I know if I was Bond and you were the director, we'd be a great team because we know what we'd be talking about. I think we both agree on what we would want.
Yeah, we tend to work quite well together anyway. We both like a lot of the same stuff, and James Bond is certainly one of those things.
And we both know what we're talking about since we've seen all the films.
Yeah. I quite like this, and he just throws the knife and gets him like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Again, I mean, impressive stunt work.
I think they must have used a dummy, though, for that.
Yeah, and if you notice in the next couple of films, each time they do shots like that, where they just fall, the shots get wider and wider.
Yeah, I suppose because they don't want to show that it's a dummy.
Yeah. Nice music.
Well, the sets are good, I'll say that. Like, the monastery set here is good.
I mean, Peter Lamont. I think is it Peter Lamont or Ken Adam? One of them. Whoever's involved, they did a good job with that.
I think Cat Adam probably left the series by this point. He may not have. I don't know. I'll have to check in the production notes. It's kind of cool when he. I mean, this final action scene I do think is good, but I just think Kristato's death is so anticlimactic. He just gets a knife thrown in his back, and that's it. No final confrontation with Bond, nothing.
Yeah, such a poor villain. You could have at least given him a good exit, but no.
He could have had a final fight with Bond that was good, but he doesn't even get to encounter Bond in a final fight. It's Columbo that kills him with a knife in his back, and you're just thinking to yourself, oh, well, that's a bit of an anticlimax. Snore.
Ripping stuff. Ripping stuff, John.
Ripping yarns.
Sorry, I'm losing I'm losing my consciousness.
You're on the edge of your sleep.
Yep. Come on. Already. Kill Kristatos.
We don't have much longer, thank God. Actually, we've got 12 minutes left, so thank God.
Yeah, it's coming to the end. Fucking disappointment this film is.
Yeah. Especially after Moonraker, which, a lot of people, it's kind of a mixed bag, but, Moonraker was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was silly, yes. I understand why some Bond fans don't like it, but for me, it is 10 times better than this because at least it has a sense of fun and humor.
Yeah, I agree. This is dull and dreary.
Sorry, Sam Harrison. I know it's his favorite Roger Moore Bond film. I think it might be his favorite Bond film, but I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. But I mean, we can't agree on everything, so we will agree to disagree. And also, Alan, sorry as well, because I know Alan likes this one.
There are their share of fans of this film, but there are also people who don't like it. I agree with Calvin Dyson. I'm one of the people who don't like it.
Play it again, Sam.
I mean, it's not a 0 out of 10, but it's not a masterpiece either. I don't think any of the characters here are very memorable, like the side characters.
Yeah. Other than Bond and Melina, there's like no one else that really stands out.
And then we get BB again in a minute. Ugh.
For some bizarre reason, yeah.
Ugh. I mean, that set's good. The monastery set there is good. You can kind of tell it's a set, but it's still good.
Yeah, I think they've never compromised by going for a cheaper set. They always they spend their budget, they see what they can get, and they deliver for us.
I mean, it's funny because when the Bond series started with Doctor No, you could tell it was a lot cheaper than the other films in the series, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Show you say.
Are these guys gay? Men all sleeping in a room together. Sounds a bit homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Ugh, this is such a boring climax. There's been no gun... like, at least have some gunfire and, explosions and stuff. There's nothing. So far...
What have you done to her? Go back to your room. You could go to hell.
Oh, yes.
Finally. Oh.
Best scene in the movie. God.
Something good to come out of this mess. You could go to hell.
Dyson, best scene in the film. She deserved a slap after being so annoying throughout the movie and being a slut to James Bond.
Oh.
Rub it.
You know what? Roger Moore may as well have walk through this film.
Well, he tried.
Didn't need to.
Yeah, John Glen just... I think he did try with this movie. It just doesn't work. The pacing, the villains, the story, it's just all forgettable. This is a good action scene where they cross through the glass. She got slapped again, thank God.
I never noticed that.
And she got slapped twice. Well.
Oh. Oh.
And this blonde henchman is forgettable. I mean, look at this. It's pathetic. He just walks out of the room with the ATAC. Is that it? He's not going to fight Bond?
Whoa. Intruder window.
He had no head for heights.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not even Bond and Christatos fighting at the end. It's Bond and... it's Columbo and Christatos.
Oh.
At least we have Gogol here. That's good.
Yeah. You know what, Em? Good job you're on leave for this one.
My way, James.
All right. Prepared to take those two grades.
Uh-oh. It's such an anticlimactic death. He gets killed by Columbo. Doesn't even have a fight with Bond. Ugh. Kind of a stupid ending.
Oh no, don't tell me this is where we come to it. Not the Margaret Thatcher scene. Oh. Oh.
What was the point of the movie? His whole mission was to retrieve the ATAC and he just destroys it at the end. Ugh.
You don't have it? I don't.
What was the point of the mission if he just destroys it in the end? Just makes the whole plot redundant.
Yep.
Ugh.
You said it.
And he just laughs it off like, ha ha ha, I came all the way here for that machine and you destroyed it. Well, better luck next time. Fuck's sake. Mm.
Finally, the end of the film.
Oh god, the Margaret Thatcher scene. This really dates the movie badly.
The whole point of it is just silly and stupid.
Oh, Mr. Bond, ha ha ha. It just dates the film really badly because Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister during the 80s, and it just dates the film into an 80s.
Yeah.
It just shows you that it's from the 80s. That line's kind of cheese for your eyes only, darling. Oh.
Only, darling. Yeah. I mean,
Go for a skinny dip in the water. Ugh.
I mean, he's like twice her age as well.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Oh.
Scene in the film.
Hello?
Oh, Mr. Bond.
It gets so stupid with the fucking parrot. Why would she believe that a parrot is James Bond? What the hell?
Oh, God.
Don't thank me, Mr. Bond.
Thank you, thank you. It's just nothing like Bond.
Dennis and I look forward to meeting you.
Ugh, Dennis.
Give us a kiss.
Oh, Jesus.
It's got to be the worst ending to a Bond movie ever.
It's so cringy. The humor just isn't funny. Is that it?
That was it. Finally. I'm sorry, but that was a real struggle. That was a drag.
You know, I probably bunk it down to 4 now.
It's gone down. It's gone down towards the bottom.
I gave it 5 in my review, but that's much worse than I remember.
I struggled to stay awake to watch this film.
I'll probably give it a 3 or a 4.
I'd probably give it a 5. But it's okay. I mean, there are things in it which are good, but really, I find this completely disappointing.
I give it a 4. Yeah. Anyway, go on. What were you saying?
First of all, let's not address the elephant in the room. The pacing. Oh my god. Oh, it's just so slow. I mean, all the other Roger Moore Bond movies are fun, light, breezy. You can enjoy them. This, they tried to go more serious, and as a result, it ends up making the movie boring. It starts out rather well. The first half of this film started out well, but the second half, oh my god, it's dragged. It dragged. The villains are crap. The villains suck. They're a joke, much to Julian Glover's best efforts. The opening sucks. The opening is...
The fucking song is pissing me off now.
Yeah. The song is not great. The title sequence is not great. I do like Roger Moore as Bond. He tries his best. Carol Bouquet's Melina is good. But other than that, that's it. And fucking BB! Oh. I mean, the locations are good. And the music is so-so. But it's a very underwhelming Bond movie. It's a very mediocre Bond film.
James Bond will return in Octopussy. But funny that it says that underwater with all these fishes around him. Like, I was expecting an octopus to come up on the screen and turn it to black with its ink.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, if you like For Your Eyes Only, then That's fine. Good for you. I'm glad you see things in it that I don't, but I'm sorry, I can't get into it. It's one of those Bond movies. I'm not gonna watch it again.
It's so
I don't think I could.
It's so boring. I mean, for me, it's easily the weakest Roger Moore Bond film. I mean, I'll repeat what you said. I mean, the villains are shit. I mean, Chris Datos. I mean, Julian Glover's a good actor, but we don't find out he's a villain until halfway into the movie, and he does nothing. His death is so anticlimactic. Doesn't even have a final fight with Bond. Locke is a shit villain. He just stands around, has no dialogue. Um, the one good scene I will say is I like the scene where he kicked the car off the cliff. That was a good scene.
Yeah. And also the scene with him and Melina in the carriage.
Yeah. I mean, there are good. I mean, there are good bits to it. I mean, I think some of the action scenes are good. Like the car chase is good. The chase is good. The final fight in the monastery is not bad. The action scene.
Yeah. I mean, the action sequences are good.
Yeah. The action's good. It's just kind of filler. And Luigi, he's pointless. His death had no impact.
They spent too long in the underwater scenes.
Yeah, the underwater scenes drag, and the pacing is just so slow. And BB, like you said, she's just so fucking annoying. Like, she's just this, really young girl who's just a slut. She just wants James Bond's dick. She just wants a wrinkly old man penis.
Put it bluntly.
Yeah, I mean, she's just an awful character, and she's so annoying. And the best thing in the movie is where she gets slapped.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But actually, the other good things, I suppose, are the nice nod to Honor Her Majesty's Secret Service. That was nice, as well as the gun barrel. That was good too. But
yeah, but I mean, also the opening with Blofeld is really stupid and like ridiculous.
Nowhere. It makes no sense.
The delicatessen stainless steel. How can you have a delicatessen stainless steel? A delicatessen is a place where you buy food.
Yeah. I suppose that the death of Melina's parents was done quite well. I mean, the car chase was fun. The movie started out well, and it started out pretty fun, but it just started to drag on and on. I'm sorry, but I think John Glen's direction wasn't great. It was pretty poor for the first time. I think he would improve in the subsequent movies, but this is his weakest movie by far. Absolutely his weakest movie. I've never really been a huge fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah, same. I mean, the first time I saw it, I liked it, but each viewing, it's just gone down and down. I mean, even when I first watched it, I liked it, but it was nowhere near my favorite Roger Moore Bond film. And for me, it's definitely the weakest. I don't see how some people could say it's the best Roger Moore Bond film. Like, like Sam Harrison I think it's his favorite Roger Moore Bond film, and a lot of people who are into the more serious Bond films say that For Your Eyes Only is the best Roger Moore Bond film. But have you seen The Spy Who Loved Me? Have you seen Live and Let Die? Man with the Golden Gun. I mean, even if You Do a Kill and Moonraker are much better for me. I mean, Moonraker, I know a lot of fans are kind of divided on it because some think it's too silly and ridiculous, but for me, that's the charm of it. I mean, it like Alan said, it's a cartoon. It knows it's a cartoon. It's just it's a fun film.
It's silly, but it's good silly.
Yeah, and it breezes by, and the villain Hugo Drax is great, and it's memorable. For Your Eyes Only's got nothing in it. I mean, Chris Datos is just wasted. Julian Glover's wasted. Locke is a shit villain. All the henchmen like Gonzalez are crap.
There is some dumb work, I would say.
Yeah, and the plot I just don't care for. The plot it's the lowest. The plot has the lowest stakes out of all the Roger Moore Bond films. Like, yeah. I mean, you had the drug smuggling plot in Live and Let Die, which was cool, along with the voodoo. You had the man with the golden gun, hired to kill James Bond, with the giant the giant laser gun that he had. And then,
Spy Love Me.
Spy Love Me, you had the plot underwater. That was great. You got, the same kind of plot for Moonraker. Even though Moonraker copied the Spy Love Me plot, at least the plot had a lot more stakes than this. And Octopussy is a better plot. Video Kill has a much better plot. I mean, all they're doing is going after this like ATAC machine. It's a rip-off of the Lecter device from Russia of Love. And guess what? His whole mission is to get it, and then he just destroys it at the end. So it makes the plot completely redundant. It's like, oh, you have to rescue this machine, and then he just destroys it at the end. So what was the point of watching the fucking movie? And
Yeah.
And it just bores the shit out of me. I mean, I didn't remember it being as bad as this. Like, I mean, rewatching it with you now, it's a lot slower than I remembered, and just all the characters just aren't memorable. It's just a nothing Bond film. It's just so forgettable. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sam Harrison, but I mean, it's definitely the least favorite Roger Moore film, and I'd probably rank it lower now in the Bond ranking if I did the re-ranking again. So, and you know what? I'm probably going to put down the rating for it. I'm probably going to give it a 4 out of 10. Like, yeah.
I still score it a 5. I still say it's okay, but it's very weak. It's it's not great. I mean,
plus the Lotus doesn't even get used in it. It's just like
yeah.
Then
he starts to use the red one, but yeah, nothing comes of it. It's such a mediocre Bond movie. I mean, it was his 5th movie as well, and I'm glad it wasn't his last one because it would have been a poor way to go out. But yeah, I mean, For Your Eyes Only. I mean, when people talk about Roger Moore's Bond movies, they don't tend to mention that one very much. As far as I know, I think some of his other movies are more popular, but there are a select few that really do like it, and to them I say, okay, great, fair enough. But for me and Jack, I've just got no interest in it. I'm sorry.
I agree with Calvin Dyson. It's a very generic Bond film, and I really don't see how people say it's the best Roger Moore Bond film. I know it's more serious and down to earth, but Spy Loved Me in terms of filmmaking, Live and Let Die in terms of filmmaking, Moonraker, Man of the Golden Gun, even View to a Kill in terms of filmmaking are all much better than For Your Eyes Only.
And actually, you say about it being serious, but ultimately it also throws in some of the stupidest moments of the entire series. That ending, for one with Margaret Thatcher and the parrot.
And the beginning with Blofeld. I think mostly it is a serious film. It's just the beginning and the end of it that are silly as heck. Yeah.
But, oh well, we can't like them all. Sadly, this one, For Your Eyes Only, is not going to be a Bond movie that I go back to. Not anytime soon.
I mean, I will say Roger Moore. It's probably his weakest performance, but he's still very good. He still tries his best. Yeah.
I mean, and the Cold Kill was very well done. So, he could be tough, and I think he proved that in For Your Eyes Only. Despite the filmmaking, I think Bond, his acting, still came through more or less.
Yeah.
As for John Glen, well, he would improve in the next film and the one after, and then the one after that.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, there's only 2 real standout films from his era. The rest, I could kind of take it or leave it. For me, he did kind of 3 average Bond films and 2 outstanding ones. So, yeah. Anything you want to say before we close off?
No, not really. Just thanks to Sam Harrison for the request, and apologies for the negative vibes. But we've got to be honest. Got to be cruel to be kind.
Yeah, I mean, if we just did the commentary and said it's great and we love it, then we'd just be lying to ourselves and we'd be lying to the audience. We'd be lying to you. So
yeah, and I don't want it to be known that I'm not an honest person. So
yeah.
But no, thanks very much, guys. And is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we end?
For Your Eyes Only, penis.
Okay. I'm Mr. Thomas 11. This is Jack. See you guys.